Toronto condo fees are surging upwards of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15% increase in maintenances. And this is not only affecting old buildings, it's buildings aged from 3 to 5, 5 to 8, 10-year-old buildings 15, and obviously 30, 40, 50-year-old buildings. There used to be a situation where higher maintenance fees were only reserved for older buildings, but that is not the case anymore. But let me tell you why that's necessarily not a bad thing. That's right, higher maintenance fees, the trend of surging maintenances across all condos is not all reason for doom and gloom. And you might think I'm pulling your leg, but I'm pretty confident I can convince you of that as we go along. So what am I talking about? Well, maintenance fee hikes of 8 to 11% are becoming the norm. And indeed, this is happening across the board from brand new buildings to 30-year-old buildings. But before you panic or get scared, the real question isn't how much the maintenance is going up. The real question is why the maintenance is going up. Because importantly to note, not all maintenance increases are created the same. Any person who's ever bought or sold a condo, any realtor who buys and sells condos such as myself, tens of condos a year, can tell you that firsthand. So let me quickly break down the good versus the bad reasons and what it means for your building if you are a owner or if you're a potential buyer or have owned a unit for a long time. When you think about it, not all maintenance fee increases are the same. Is your building increasing maintenance to be more aggressive in terms of saving towards the reserve fund, increasing that nest egg to tackle potential problems preemptively, not waiting for the underground parking ramp and garage to reach its end point to renovate or to fix, not waiting on everything to get to the final stages to renovate and fix, whether it's the roof, the balconies, the windows, the common areas. So is your condo increasing maintenance fees to get ahead of depreciation, to be preemptive and proactive, to save more? Or is your condo simply increasing maintenance fees due to mismanagement of funds or mismanagement overall, having to address issues they hadn't addressed before? Maybe a shared road amongst the buildings could have been tackled many years before, but now guess what? It has to be tackled now when construction costs are higher. Or is the condo filled with a lot of Airbnbs? As a result, it requires a lot of cleaning, and as a result, new contracts, heftier contracts. And that's a very brief analysis. As you can simply see, there's good reasons why your maintenance is going up and there's bad reasons. So the maintenance increase in of itself is no sign whatsoever. You have to see why the maintenance is increasing. And right now what's happening is for the good buildings, good to great buildings, it's typically the case where the buildings are being aggressive in terms of saving into the reserve fund so they can make the reserve fund healthier and healthier and healthier. And that point helps me transition into the next reason why the widespread increase in maintenance fees that we're seeing is not all bad. It's a case-by-case basis. Because believe it or not, it can actually be a red flag if your condo did not and is currently not increasing maintenances enough. Let me explain. There is a hidden danger when maintenance fees remain too low. If a building is not saving enough or increasing maintenance is enough, it's probably not saving properly for future expenses. You see, what was happening for a long time was that engineering firms and property management companies were incentivized to occasionally understate the issues because the engineering firms are beholden to the property management company and the property management company is beholden to the residents. So for the longest time, what would happen is the engineering firms would kind of understate the issue to satisfy the property management companies, saying, hey, only 4 to 5% increase is required for this annual year. And in turn, that's music to the ears of most property managers because then they only have to break the news of 4 to 5% to the owners. Think about it. If your building is only increasing maintenance fees 3, 4, 5%, whereas other buildings in the area are increasing maintenance fees 9, 10, 11%, you might think that's a good thing. But that can essentially really mean that the engineering firms are kicking the problem down the line. And what we're seeing right now and what we will undoubtedly see is for these buildings that have been poorly managed in the way I just described, not only are their maintenances going to jump from the annual 4 to 6% that they've been used to, but they're going to come to reality and see a jump in maintenance upwards of 15%, if not a special assessment being a one-time payment that's levied against all unit owners. It could be anything as small as $20. I'm not even kidding. There has been $20 special assessments, or it could be something as large as $20,000, and there's no exaggeration in between. So all this has to be taken in context. Why is your building increasing maintenance? And the very fact that it is increasing maintenance, if you delve into the details, can be not only a good sign, can actually be a green flag as opposed to a red flag. Now, this is not to say, I have to be very clear, that every building that's only increasing maintenance by 4 to 6%, that they're actually being negligent and they're kind of understating the problem to keep the residents happy. I don't want you to leave this video with that understanding. That's by no means what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that a lot of buildings did do that, and now they're kind of have to pay the price. Whereas buildings who had the 10,000 foot holistic approach, they're doing much better, and they're going to be doing much better. Lastly, one thing I will say is we're going to enter this new era where $1 per square foot is no longer a bad thing. That is inevitably coming, and some will argue that there is going to be a reappraisal of condo values when that eventually happens. I'm not quite confident of that. However, if 80 cents to $1 per square foot becomes the average, the common condos fee, the new reality, essentially what will always hold true will continue to hold true. The buildings that will set themselves apart are the ones that are best managed financially, best managed practically in everyday terms, are quality builds in quality areas with great residents. And it's just simple as that. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Let me know if you have any further questions or comments. As always, you can get in touch with me. My link is in the bio. Feel free to book a call, set up a chat. I'd be happy to help. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.